Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for coming to another episode of the Everyday Black Man Podcast. You got your boy Riker, we've got our Reed, we've got Armstead, and today we have two special guests in DJ All Might as well as Dez. It's going to be a great podcast. I wanted to keep it as one long continuous shot, but something tells me that we have two arcs here. So for the first one, welcome to the episode entitled Jemele Hill Belongs to White Feminism.
The white feminism street. See, this is your problem. You always think people got to run to affect change.
Yes, because they broke. It'd be different if they're
That's
like
not true.
if they are like the
If they're like
the whites. Okay.
Changes in American history come from people on the outside, and you know it. That's just how it works.
No, it does come from people on the outside, except until the 80s. After the 80s, all change comes from the inside. Why do we have seatbelts? Why do we have seatbelts as standard? Because Ron Paul said, y'all motherfuckers gonna put these seatbelts on or me and my voting bloc gonna walk. So again, it does come down to it. ADOS are just black version of libertarians. They niggas who got great ideas but no fucking follow through. None whatsoever. No, they don't. Because if ADOS actually had follow through, instead of them saying something like Professor Black Truth, these are my reasons why I didn't vote, they say, look, we have 1,500 votes. We have 1,500 votes. Who wants these 1,500 votes? Which candidate wants this these 1,500 votes? That's how you affect change.
That's B1.
So are we gonna talk about like the whole shebang or just
correct? We'll get to Kamala.
Technically, I just want to bring attention. I want to bring attention to the fact that the show hasn't even started yet.
Correct.
No, it hasn't. We've been recording. Recording.
Okay.
Right now. I made certain to get this part because I knew some bullshit was about to fly out our Reed's mouth, and I just had to get there.
It's not the bullshit is y'all.
I'll address what she said, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna shit on Kamala because honestly, the bar has been lowered so low that nobody should be shat on unless they go beyond what we just dealt with.
Well, I agree with you on that one. If
so we can't.
I think that
black snake look like me, then yeah. Remember, black snake bites you just as easy as a white one. They don't give a fuck. It's a snake. Malcolm X.
I mean, sometimes, but go ahead. Address what you about to address, DJ All Might.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that was it. That's all I was saying. Like, we can't really shat on them because the bar has already been lowered. So technically, I mean, my opinion of it all is thank you for imminently evacuating what we've been dealing with. And I mean, I hope it can't get worse. It shouldn't get worse, but we'll see.
And I think we just need to shout out to all the black voters, non-white voters.
I'll give it to y'all in Georgia. Yeah, I'll give it to y'all in Georgia because Atlanta.
I'm gonna take it 2 steps further.
Detroit, Philly.
I'm gonna take it 2 steps further. Thank you to all the black people who showed up to vote. I don't care who you voted for.
Yeah.
I know that's gonna be a controversial statement, but
no, absolutely not. Because the fact of the matter that the population of the U.S. is 355 million, and we still only at 170 million voted, 150 million voted.
Yeah,
but all of those are eligible voters, though. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. That total population is kids and everything too,
and
felons as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us there's more work to do. Like as far as
next time you vote for a reason. What you gonna get? Shit.
So I will tell you this. I was not an eligible voter this year. So I did not vote.
Who did you kill?
I wasn't eligible to vote. But I will be voting in 4 years because
you got prior?
I feel like
No. She is an immigrant, so we're not gonna start that bullshit.
Very similar to Kamala. My family is from the Caribbean. My dad's family was from Europe.
Asia.
Leave Asia alone, goddamn.
First of all, her dad is from Jamaica, just like my dad is from Trinidad.
That nigga ain't Jamaican. That nigga Asian.
Look, man, if y'all really want to test her authenticity, man, then we just need to go ahead and see how nice is. She got Caribbean and Indian on her side. If the rice ain't kicking, then she is a failure.
Exactly.
Well, she don't put no allspice in her curry, bro.
I mean, maybe. I hope she got a secret ingredient, but also I hope that everybody recognizes that.
We don't talk about that.
When y'all said that, more people, or when Dez said more people went out to vote. Also, pay attention to the fact that Trump had an increase in every demographic except white women. including black men and women.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
Correct.
Let's
white
call out
women.
white
No,
women.
no, 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 no. Because in 2016, 53% of white women voted for him, and in 2020, 55% of white women
That
voted
number
for
went
him.
up. Yeah, white women.
So
He
White
went
women
up.
that
once
number
again.
went up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
white
So he
Okay.
went. They
white
said he
men
went
went
up in
down.
everything. Then he went
Yeah,
up
Except
in
for
every
black,
everything.
except for white men. White men is the
yeah,
only
white men
demographic
went
he
down.
went down in.
But more
Okay,
than
there it
voted
is.
this time. More than voted this time.
Yeah, I'm about to say that number does askew because if it more did, then the percentages fluctuate.
Correct.
But
More
at the
than
But
same
voted.
time, that you have to admit that there's some white man who just said fuck Trump, fuck everything about this nigga. I don't like him, and his mama a hoe.
okay,
Oh,
but those are the people. Those are the people that actually pay attention to politics and not the crazy radical. My cousins, my sisters, my
pause.
aunties, grandma.
Pause. If you pay
Mm.
attention to politics, you won't be voting for neither one of these niggas. You'll be voting for some third party person because neither one of these niggas have
J-
nothing for the American people.
Just because you voted for these nuts and then Kanye, man. Look, I
Whoa, Joe
understand. I'm
Jorgensen.
proud of you. Joe Jorgensen is. I was scared after I read all the policies.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
no,
gonna
fuck
lie.
Exactly.
yeah.
Joe Jorgensen got some policies that make you be like, girl, do you realize how this is gonna work in
I
reality?
got scared. I got real scared. Like, yo, she might be like, if Trump was smart.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. She's
Yeah.
like if Trump is smart, but the difference is she doesn't have the ill intent that Trump has. She
No,
really
because she
does
has an
believe.
education.
Exactly,
She's a
exactly. She
libertarian.
really believes that we can pull off some of these things, like let niggas have whatever weapons they want and doing away with all drugs at one time. And
Oh,
shit,
shout
if
out
you
to
want,
Oregon.
oh yeah,
What?
they decriminalize
She
all drugs
I think
except for
she would have been,
prostitution.
if she would have won, she would have got the Civil War kicked off because she would have straight armed the fuck out of every side.
Nah, they not like
I
that. They
mean,
ain't on that Oregon shit.
to be honest, as pussified as most Americans are, them fat motherfuckers not gonna be going to no real actual war because they're gonna be like, y'all gotta slow down. I ain't built for this. These niggas ain't like it's not like she's arming like the military.
I know
She
that.
would
I
be
know that.
arming people who can't even fucking shoot. People who don't even
Speaking of which,
practice. Go
speaking
ahead.
of that, saying that the Second Amendment is so construed or how it's read because when they say you're right to bear arms, that's just for the fact sake of having a small militia group before we had a full blown fucking military. It didn't mean everybody should have a gun. They're just saying people have the right to bear arms in case we need to protect our fucking whatever they had their division set up as. Like I think
That's
that
that's an interpretation versus what it just says. You got, yeah, I think what they call them a constitutionalist or a interpretist or whatever they call them.
It's a
mhm.
It just depends
constitutional
on how you look at
interpretation.
it.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
read it either way, but either way it
correct.
goes. Me, you, him, Des. We just founded a militia. Boom, bam. Now we all good. Either
An
way
angry
it
black
goes.
militia.
Exactly. The angry black militia.
There's already an
Um,
angry black militia.
well, guess what? We're taking the name now. You heard it here
I'm about to say
first.
I got a plaque. I got a plaque from my time in Italy, man. They named me Angry Black Man after my first tour in Iraq, bro. I got that copywritten.
All right. Well, we'll have to go with something else.
Let's
I
start.
got
Let's
no. I
let's
got you.
really
I'm
start the
bringing y'all
show.
in. I'm
Introduce the
bringing y'all
guests.
in.
Introduce the
All
guests.
right. Well, all of our side commentary that is definitely going to be in the podcast aside, I want to go ahead and welcome two special guests. We have DJ All Might back again another time. He just couldn't leave y'all alone, America. He's got
Uh-oh.
opinions and he wants y'all to hear them. So it's going to be fun. And of course, in this other corner, not that they're against each other, just making sure that we have everybody represented. We have Des coming
Representation.
back again. I know y'all heard her last year. I think last time it was her and Stylish on the podcast, and they gave
That was
some
like 2
very
years ago.
interesting. No, that was last year. That was last
Oh,
year.
Very
word?
long time ago, but I'm very excited to be back and very excited to also get a woman's perspective on
Thank you. We definitely need the
things.
women perspectives. And go ahead and hit Nancy Pelosi in the gonads because
Oh
centrist
man.
Democrats have lost big in the House, and they're trying to blame our precious little progressives instead of taking a look in the mirror. And of course, Nancy Pelosi said she's running for re-election, even though she don't need to be queen of anything. How does that make you
Oh,
feel as
geez.
a woman, Des?
I think Nancy just need to hang it up. Like
Thank you.
it's we the pendulum has swung. The progressive literally pushed through this election by, getting more voter engagement. And I think that when you just watching her energy, like, lady, just retire. Retire. Let some new blood in and
Yeah,
let
you
them
you
steer the ship.
you 80 years old. You got enough money. Like, what are we doing here? Like, literally, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like, you don't have enough money? You bored in California? Don't you got a mansion?
Nancy Pelosi is the Karen that has a husband that pays all the bills, and she went to University of Phoenix, got a degree, and now she has an opinion.
Nancy
I
Pelosi.
mean, I wouldn't go so far as to discredit her political acumen,
Why?
but at this point,
Well, yeah,
you
actually, no,
know,
that's a good point. Why
at
shouldn't we discredit? Because we're not discrediting that she could be a great politician. She
Right,
probably was 30 years ago.
right.
But at this point in time, it's not that she hasn't kept up with the times, it's that she vehemently rejects everything
It
that's like, hey,
and
we have
there
a
is
student loan crisis. We
it's
have
well
a
known.
and I think it's a perfect case for why we need term limits and we need these people to have their time and then be gone, because she is not relatable. She does not understand what the common man is going through. And every single time I sat through one of those press conferences where she's talking about the stimulus, I'm like, you cannot relate to these people. So stop trying to act like you understand, because clearly you don't.
But
I
that's been the
mean,
problem with the Senate, Congress, and all that anyway, is the terms. Those terms are too long. These folks are staying there for decades.
which is why I really hope that Georgia follows through in January and gets Ossoff and Warnock in the Senate, because
correct.
Mitch is another one that got to go. Him and Nancy can
Oh my
ride
God,
off to the
Mitch.
sunset.
Yeah, take
Both of
Chuck with
them.
y'all for good measure.
Man,
Please.
look, COVID got a few more waves to go, guys. We don't know.
Exactly, that's true. And Republicans.
The thing about Nancy Pelosi, she just seems like a West Coast socialite. And at this point, like people are done with you socialites. Like it's just done. When it's too obvious, I think it was this summer when she posted an $80,000 refrigerator.
Well, no, that's when Trump posted that. And I
No,
mean, she's not wrong. She just
yeah.
took a picture with it, and Trump was like, "Ain't that 80,000?" And she was like, "Uh-oh, shit,
Yeah,
this nigga knows how much things cost. He's
I
not
mean,
bored."
I think she was a part
Yeah.
of the decision to make that damn rap video. If you look at when they did that damn thing with
Oh,
They
she
go for
did
the
most
ride.
definitely put her ear stamp on that shit.
yeah,
She's like, "This will
because
get us with the ethnics.
that
This will get us with
that
the ethnics."
that was the same. That was on par with the fucking going to pray with the blacks and everything, and putting on the kufis and
The,
all that shit.
the
Like,
kente cloth. Oh my
Yeah, like
yeah,
God. That was just like,
Chuck and Nancy are like, "Look, man, this is what they want. They're African
yeah,
Americans, right? We're taking it back to Africa. We got it right."
right,
because
exactly.
they understand the power of the black vote. It's just never been activated before like this.
Des,
That's
I
not
And
would,
I,
true.
Des,
I
you don't
think
follow
that
me or anything, but the baby boomers need to die or go away.
Oh my God, we're on the same page. Lord
I've been
Jesus.
saying this for like 10 years. They need to die and go away because the things that they grew up on and what they want is so far outdated.
it's obsolete. Like most of their concepts and their ideals are obsolete. Like the general
Yeah,
public isn't
yeah,
dealing with those issues the way they dealt with it, and they're refusing. I think that if they were willing to pivot when AOC and Omar and all these people were elected initially, if they were willing to compromise, but Pelosi did not want to give up that leadership role. Like she was just like, no, I'm here, I'm the queen,
They're not gonna do
and
that until they get rid of it. That would have meant a Bernie presidency, and they do not want Bernie in there.
Bernie, I want him in there. I want Bernie. I really want to
I want Bernie
see
to run at
because, like,
92 and just tell
bro,
everybody to F off.
I see Bernie
but
living an extra 10 years to outlive his competition and run again. Like,
Correct.
he
Bernie's
we
gonna be
he
don't
right
is.
back.
need we don't need Biden. Listen, and I know y'all gonna chew
Hold
me
on,
out
wait,
for
wait, wait,
saying
wait,
this,
wait, 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 wait,
but
wait.
we
Pause.
don't need these old people. I'm
Is it
sorry.
time
I'm
to
That was
not
start
trying to
I mean,
be.
criticizing?
I was being
Is
facetious with that, though. But we need a young Bernie, obviously.
We do.
But he's
We
the most
needed a young
progressive.
Bernie.
He's the most progressive person in that age group. Let's put it like that.
he's
Yes.
the most progressive group in a lot of age groups. Like some black people aren't even that
Yeah.
progressive.
Yeah,
Well,
but he won't address the black plight though. Like, I know he wants to just put it on a clean slate and not.
This
He
is,
wants
I
the gray
think there's a
matter of
reason
people,
why.
but
and quite frankly, in order to dig us out of this shithole that we're in right now, because I think it's so ironic that Mr. 45 wanted to call all these countries shithole countries, and now
But they are
we
shithole
swimming in
countries.
it. But the point that I was getting to is that, in order to
dude,
get the country back to a place where, people are not living in poverty and not dying one out
That's
of
not
every
gonna happen.
438 people, they're
That's not
gonna
right.
have to embrace some of these progressive policies. They're gonna have
So
to.
They're
so
gonna
as
embrace
somebody
progressive policies, but they're gonna
as
be social.
as somebody that's visit some of these shithole countries, all they talking about is the hoods. And as I said before, I think it wasn't recorded when we talked about it. Every
Correct.
hood looks the same. I have seen at least 20 countries, and the hood is the hood no matter where you are.
A
We have
Paris
shit.
hood don't hit
Yeah,
different. It's the
and
same.
don't get it twisted. We call the United States, but all it is 50 providences. And what's funny, providences. I'm sorry. And fuck, Hawaii was stolen. Alaska was stolen. Puerto Rico's
Hmm.
technically stolen, but
Not technically. Puerto Rico
it
is
is.
stolen.
It is.
We
It's stolen.
we
Guam,
liberated Guam, which meant we kept it as war treasure.
but
The
the
list
thing
goes on.
is, we have several shithole countries in one state. Like,
Alabama niggas still living in huts.
Correct.
right?
Exactly.
Look
Alabama,
at Florida.
Mississippi.
Alabama, Mississippi alone are considered third world countries. But look at the classism between my South Beach and Miami. Like,
Yep.
they
Yeah.
gentrification is what thrives in this damn country, because if the whites want to live there, they gonna go ahead and find a way to get it and change it from whatever we had. I was actually talking to my old lady about this. I took her through the south side of Chicago, and I told her I didn't realize until I was older that our apartment buildings, these brownstones we lived in, were big as fuck. White people used to live here before, a long time ago. It became the
Hmm.
hood when they wanted the downtown of Chicago, and they beefed up Cabrini Green, which was one of the worst cities in Chicago. But like, nobody talks about that. Yeah, there's shithole countries, but we have shithole countries here. That, it's just the from the bird's eye view of somebody that's never struggled,
I
or
kind of. Anybody remember the direct country he was talking about when he made that statement?
I thought he was talking about
He
Puerto
was
Rico.
talking about Haiti. He was talking about like Nigeria. He was talking about countries in Africa.
And that's the
It's when he was.
biggest
Um,
problem is
It's
because
when.
Haiti isn't a shithole country. Haiti
Yeah,
is what happens when you have to pay shit tons of debt for
yeah.
back to
literal
France. Yep.
centuries.
To get
Like
your country back.
Nigeria isn't a shithole country. There are some parts of Nigeria that are very, very rugged. But if you go to Lagos, it looks like every other fucking metro capital in the world. It's
And
just
then
10
Correct.
years
But
behind.
when
and
he is
Puerto
when he's
Rico ain't even a
pandering
country, and he
to
thought it was.
Exactly.
correct. But when 45 was saying these things and he was pandering to his base, a lot of them were uneducated, uncultured, and so they just lapped
Ooh,
everything up that
that's
he
not
said.
true.
I am
You tell
not
Okay.
me
saying that he, let me
68
tell you
million people
something.
are uneducated and uncultured.
I
That's a
did
No,
not
no, no.
say
lie.
She
say
didn't say
all
that.
of them.
His
I said
base.
some
Remember, his
of
base
them.
is the foot
It's
soldiers.
it's
They
coat
I
not
did
policy.
this.
not
These not
say,
middle management niggas.
let me tell you
These are
something.
folk.
I did not say all of them because there are $500,000 houses across the street from me that had Trump signs up in the yard. So I'm not saying that all of his base are these, ignorant, uncultured, uneducated, but I'm saying that the people that he pandered to that absorbed that the most were the people who are, the deplorables. Hillary said it best, dumb.
I
Those
don't give a
people
fuck
are the
what.
ones that
But
believe
those
that.
people
Because if
also
you
vote Democrat
travel
too.
I
and
mean, if we
that
want to be
and
honest,
that
half of them didn't vote Democrat. Half of them just
That's,
didn't vote. So it made it pretty
yeah.
easy
But I'm saying
when
they act
Obama
like
was
the.
running re-election.
That's why they hate them, because they act like they're elitists. But some of those people are just like you and me who sit up here and voted for Trump. Those people are not these deplorable, evil people. These people are just regular people. You may work with some of
I
them,
judge
but
somebody by the net outcome of their actions. So if we're looking at it that way, they're deplorables. They might do nice things. They might be your next door
well,
neighbors.
you
They might
telling me
have
we got 68 million people? How many people voted from this time?
correct.
no,
And
no, no,
that's
no.
More
It's
than
more
why
than 70 at
and
this point.
that's why it's
okay.
a systematic problem. It's a convergence of the ignorance, the people who are uncultured, and also the
Culture? You
fleeting
mean act like
standard
what?
of our
What? This is
education
America. What
system.
culture? What
These
culture?
people listen, these people are the ones I'm talking about, are people who don't travel, who don't go out of the country, who don't stay
Most
in some of
people in
these.
America don't travel. They don't mean in that
There,
culture.
But that doesn't make her point any less rare
I
because most
said
people
it
don't
was a
travel.
No,
and
that
it's
doesn't
a
make her point relevant
converge.
because they do not travel. That's what I'm saying.
No,
Culture,
but that is literally part of it. Because
but
the only way that you can believe what Donald Trump is saying is if you've never been outside of the country. If you've been outside the country, even partially, you see like, oh shit, you mean there are people who don't have to live on their cell phones? There are people who are like, hey, we want to have a good time. We're gonna go party. After that, we'll bang, okay? Like
What
And
there are
I'm
not
people
telling
only
who
you
live
is
that,
like that,
but
that
and that's
the
not a
that's
point
a
that
shithole.
I was the
that's a
point that I was
terrible
trying to make is
definition of
that
culture.
was just a factor. If you look at the convergence of all the different factors, including the fact that the education system, the public education system in this country is now trash, okay,
I mean, it's been
compared
trashed
to
for a long
for
time.
a
They've been trash
very
for a
long
long time.
time. But when you have social media disinformation where people swear it's the God honest truth,
Nigga, do
when
you
you
think
have
Russia started
people who
election
are
last time?
uncultured, and then the education issue, a convergence of all of that is what leads to these people who are unable to distinguish fact from fiction. And that is
Correct.
why you have
What
70 million
facts?
people
But
voting
that's
for a
some.
man who has no morals, who's inhumane, and cannot tell the truth.
Oh, he
Okay.
does have
They
morals.
all lie.
He
They call them
morally likes money.
politicians. Politicians. They call them politicians. They all lie. Nancy Pelosi sit up here and lie for 4 years about Russia. When they did an investigation, it said no, they didn't mess it with the votes. That's what they found. But they
But
acted.
you're
Yeah,
you're
but this is
glossing
next
over part of
level.
the
This
story.
is this is next level lying. When you're saying the pandemic is a hoax and it's going to go away the day after election, that's next level lying. Okay?
Well,
No,
well,
he's
you
Yes,
have to
not
go that
maybe the
far,
lying.
Des.
He's not
You have to go
lying.
that
He's
far.
telling you the truth. He's telling
No,
you the
no,
truth.
no. He did
He's
not tell the
hold on.
truth.
Let me
He
tell you how
literally
this shit gonna
downplayed it.
go. He did downplay it. I agree, but they're gonna do the same thing. There's gonna have to be a point.
That's where you go ahead and you can rely on your credibility. Unfortunately, this man had no credibility to where everybody got so fucking offended by it.
What I'm
Correct.
telling you is, now that they're in there, around March or April, they're not gonna shut down the economy again. We already know that, right?
Well, no, they
So
literally
they're
can't
gonna.
because poor people got fucked last time, and they would literally die. There'd be riots if they do it
Okay,
again.
and they're gonna treat COVID just like they treat the flu. Eventually, you're gonna hear less and less about it. When he said that, I was like, "You damn fool!" Blah blah blah.
That's your
But then I'm starting to watch
projection.
that shit. It's not a projection. It's gonna happen. That's just how it
And
is.
you know why you're going to hear less and less about it? Because the Biden administration has already met with medical experts to devise a plan to address it. When
They're
people are
gonna do the
able to
same thing
go,
they were gonna do
when people
before.
are able to
Well,
go
no,
get
they
a
weren't in
test,
power before, so they couldn't do the
But
same thing.
I mean,
But
when
you
continue.
could. This man actively encouraged people not to wear masks and shit, though, man. Like he's giving irresponsible advice from the office that he sits from. That's the biggest thing. It's the fact that
Yeah,
if
but the
he's just
studies on
regular old
masking
Donald
people
Trump,
have issues on it as well.
and the sad part about it is that what he's doing, this false equivalency, is why 70 million people felt comfortable voting for him.
okay. So
Because
That's
Reed,
not
because
why.
Well,
because
Because
now
you
we're
because
sound
making
like
now we're
a
making a little
socialist.
bit of
because
now
it's
we're
a
making a little
false
bit of a leap.
Yeah,
I
equivalency.
people hate people who talk down to them. You're trying to talk down to them when
yeah.
they're not all the way wrong. These people are not crazy. You're just as crazy from acting like you're coming from a place of professional or what would we say, a place of
Elitism, maybe,
no, no,
because
no, no,
that's
no,
what they
no,
call it.
a
They
place of
Experience,
try
a
to
place
knowledge
of
or
experience. Uh,
a place of experience or not. But whatever I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Somebody said it to us on the podcast one time. They said that we act like we come from a place of damn,
we're talking from authority.
I
correct.
got you. Yeah, place of
Democrats
authority.
talk down to people like they come from a place of authority, and that's not always true. They lie just as much as the other side, and people need to stop realize like these people come at you like earlier you said these people are uneducated. I'm like, bro, some smart niggas did vote for this nigga because they see the bullshit too. Democrats are
I
full of shit
agreed with
too.
you on
And
that. I had a coworker of mine, very, highly educated, skilled engineer, and he was a very black man, very proud Trump supporter. And he was, proud of the
he a
fact that his
coon.
dad voted for Trump and
I
he
mean,
voted
yeah,
for Trump and
he definitely could.
Yeah,
he
but
was
so are
gonna
these rapper niggas too. So it don't matter
Well,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah,
vote for
but
him.
we've
Yes.
already talked about the rapping niggas. But
Yeah.
sorry, I want you to finish your point, Reed, so I can go in on you. So finish it.
What I'm saying is, y'all consistently talk down to these people like they not half of America. And these people who are quote unquote 1/3 of the country, no, only 1/3 of the country has college degrees. So from what you're saying, only those 1/3 of the country people should be running, and we should listen to them because they're experts when they've been wrong plenty of
No,
times.
I don't have a
The,
college degree either, and I'm about to run a whole department. So no, and I'm not
I
looking
mean,
down.
but all right, but
And I'm not looking down on them.
we honestly the education thing, unless you're a doctor, lawyer, is irrelevant anyway. It comes from experience off the bat. Like, but my thing is, yes, you re-argue with you. The Democrats do look down on folks. That's the problem. The Republicans are too authoritarian. We don't have any other party. That's the problem. They don't let the
Well,
progressives
we
in.
all agree there. We all agree there.
But they won't let. The thing is, we won't get any progressives in unless these fools die or they have their what is it? Their predecessors take their place, which is how it's been working in politics for the longest. That's why this shit is so trash right now. Because
Yeah.
if it's not nepotism, it's hey, next man up. They keep the same ideologies coming up in the damn system, and nothing ever changes. That is the
Right.
biggest problem with our government.
All right,
Oh,
so I was gonna end up editing that thing down anyway because we went way too long on politics.
Hell yeah.
So
Good. I came in just in time.
Jemele Hill is officially full of shit. On
Oh
October
no.
20th, she tried to blame black men for Trump, saying that, we don't want the patriarchy dismantled. We just want a better seat at the table. Only for the results to show 80% of black men voted right in lock and step with Joe Biden and the Democrats. To which then she said, if Trump gets elected, it's going to be white people. Why is it that people can't just say, you know what, guys, I was wrong? That's all black men want at this point, Jemele. I mean, it'd be different if you wasn't fucking on a black man who's your husband. But
Yes,
if you're
sir.
gonna say some bullshit like black men or whatever, does that apply to the black man in your
Let
bed?
me
Oh no,
let me
what makes him the special Negro?
because he submits to her. Let me explain Jemele Hill for you real quick. In case y'all don't know who this bitch is, I'm gonna let you know who this bitch is.
Oh, nah.
She
Mm-mm.
represents white feminist opinions, and ultimately, I keep telling y'all, white fucking Democrats ain't nothing but the gay Jew. And I hate to say that, but it don't. Anytime that she put flags for anything and she thinks she fighting for black people, she is not. She does not fight for black people whatsoever. She has moments and times, but moments and times to realize who you really are if she keeps talking long enough. She fight for
Well, most of the
feminist
times are the
ideals. She gets
exceptions,
two
not
shits
the
about
rule.
black men. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, she gets two shits about black men. She acts like she does, but she don't give a shit about black men. She follow
Not
whatever
at
these
all.
white people tell her to do. And if they told her to go, hey, all black men this, she would do it in a heartbeat because she wants the money. And people like that are not to be trusted. You want to listen to
It
that
was
one chick?
cool
What's her
back
name?
when
I
she was
like
on
this.
ESPN, but it seems like after
No,
ESPN, she went
even
from
on
being like
ESPN, I
someone.
can read. Bro, she was at work. Bro, shut the fuck up.
No, no,
You
no,
at
no.
work. Shut the fuck up.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're at work, you still talk shit. But the problem
that's
here
why she
was,
got fired.
no. She got fired for talking shit at the wrong fucking reason. Like, again,
Yeah.
you got to pick and choose your battles as with everything. Like, you don't go up to your boss and be like, hey, man, you're a fucking dumbass. I told you not to do that. What you do is you wait for your boss to do something wrong, and then you go, hey, man, this is how we can fix this thing. And by the way, we're going to not
she
do
got
that in the future.
she got fired for telling the truth. But I'm gonna be honest with that. But that's not where you were, bro. Even if all of us at our job, can any of us go to our job and say Donald Trump's a white supremacist? I don't give a fuck.
You
You
already
at
know I
I
work.
can't do
mean,
that.
no. I mean, actually, I don't know. I might be able to get away at my current company, but yeah, I probably couldn't do it at my previous.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like you're at work, and you can whatever you agree with. You number one, they're supposed to be talking about sports, and they're like, well, sports and politics intersect. That's not true, bro. Sports is
I
supposed
mean,
to be
no,
a
they do.
meritocracy.
They
No, it's
do.
not.
They do. Because if sports and politics did intersect, then people wouldn't have such a huge problem about the protests. And I mean, that's the biggest barometer is if sports and politics don't matter, then if somebody kneels, you should just shut up, watch them kneel, sing your national anthem, and keep it moving. Because if
It
y'all
was
ain't
the
giving no
media who
energy,
made it a thing. Remember, he was kneeling for weeks and nobody paid attention to him.
but once the media started talking about it, white people just jumped in there and say he's disrespecting the flag, even though it's like no. At first he was just sitting down, and then he talked to an actual veteran who said, "Nah, man, you can kneel, but don't just sit down during the thing." So that's exactly what he did, and then nobody paid attention to it, and then somebody got mad about it, was like that Negro right there is kneeling.
I'll just say I don't agree with her viewpoint. I don't agree with what she said. I think black men in America have it insanely hard as it is,
The
and I
worst.
think that
The
and
worst.
I think that in the current
You can
climate
ignore those two.
with everything that's been going on, I think that we should just acknowledge the fact that 80% of black men, you know, voted for Biden. I'm sure a lot more voted period. And I think just the fact that they have the willingness to engage in the current system that has no respect for them, no regard for their life, I think that it takes a lot to still feel motivated to invest in something that doesn't give a shit about you. And I think that, for her saying what she said, it was wrong. I
Um,
wouldn't call her a bitch, but at the
I
same
would.
time,
Bitch, 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 bitch.
yeah, we all know you would. But
Exactly.
you
That's
know,
not new. That's not news. Continue. Continue,
just
Des.
give black men their flowers. Just acknowledge that a lot of black men were activists. They were engaged. They were getting out, the campaign to get people to the polls to vote. And I think that, to still have that desire to be a part of a society that does not acknowledge your value is a big deal. So yeah, fuck her, but I still wouldn't
I
call her a bitch.
I personally, from watching her from the get, I used to watch her show, and then when they got on Sports Center for that little segment, that her and what's his name, Michael, whatever, they
SC6.
turned it very political and black political. That was the bad side of it because they didn't have
Not
the
even
power.
black until
But
white
And I think
mainstream black
because
but
there's
hold on,
there's
they
definitely a bitter
Can
energy
DJ All
from
Might
her.
finish his point? Can he
they
finish his
but
Definitely.
point?
they didn't have the power of a Stephen A. Smith, and
No.
that was where they
No.
mistaken themselves. But also on behalf of her, I've watched her talk. I even watched her DJ Vlad interview. She seems like a very what do you call it? Self. Uh, she
Hater.
she she
Absorbed.
look she looks out for self because she
Yeah.
doesn't even big up black
Saying
women.
she egotist just like
Yeah,
Most
Trump.
people do. Most people
she
do.
she she. I mean, yeah, but the thing is, she tries to mask it underneath the plight of being a black woman that actually made it to a position where she's
Ooh,
at, which is
ooh,
commendable.
shit.
She
Ooh,
it is
shit,
very
man.
commendable, but she masks it underneath that. She kind of tries to use that as her camouflage, but in reality, she doesn't big anybody else up for herself, and then she only uses it to compliment, like to bring the compliments back around to herself and everything that she's done.
Facts.
She doesn't say black women. She doesn't say anything for black women, and she
Ooh,
talks shit about black men. But then,
ooh.
she wants to make sure that she's getting that accolade, of attention, and
This
appreciation
nigga
for
reading.
her accomplishment. And that's
No,
where
I
This
I have a
nigga
mean,
problem with her.
reading.
and
So that's where I stand with her.
I would piggyback off of that and say
Yeah, fuck that
I'm a
bitch.
black woman, and I don't know
Damn.
her. I know she was on whatever ESP whatever, but
She
like
she has a podcast now. Like she does pop, but if you ever like have free time bullshit, like if you watch her DJ Vlad interview, you'll get a full picture of who she is, and you'll
Right.
see that she'll take care of her and her own. That's it, and that's the thing
and
that
that's
I can
Feminism.
say.
probably and that's probably why I don't know who she is, because I tend to gravitate to black women who
Are
are
all
activists
in.
and yes, exactly.
She's
So
not an all in. She's not an all
No.
in, and you can tell that.
she's
And she
never been on
even
my
She's a
radar, and
feminist
it's
before
probably
she's a
for good
black
reason.
woman. She's
Yep,
a
and
she's
I
a
feminist
mean,
before she's
feminist
a
before
black
she's a
woman.
black woman. Thing then we definitely agree on that. So DJ All Might, I will turn it over to you now to go into your black misconceptions topic so you can do it true justice.
all right. Appreciate that, man. I have a biracial girlfriend. Um, I had this conversation with her, and I didn't realize it because one of the things it stemmed from was when she asked me when I first met her, what did I think she was, and I told her, I was like, I thought you were black. I was like, there was something else in there, but I saw you as black. But apparently that vision was unique because even where she works now, she works with a lot of Lindsey Graham Trump supporters and stuff. And they all see her as either white or they don't know what she is.
I think
But
my
I
daughter's
think,
gonna have that same thing too.
yeah. And what's funny is to a black eye, we can see her. Like, I think if y'all were to see her, y'all saw the picture, you can tell there's black in there. You can see it ain't like it's completely, exotic. But anyway, we had a conversation with like the Asian doll situation because Asian doll came out with that bullshit saying only light skinned people made fun of her and called her names about, her dark skin or brown
That's not
skin.
true.
I call bullshit on that
It is.
because they started they're attacking light skinned girls and biracial girls. And I didn't think it like that until she expressed it. And then I agreed with it because personally, as a brown skinned chocolate ass dude, I only heard chocolate, dark skin, and derogatory fucking comments about my skin from other black people. Dark skinned, brown, women and men. But mainly, I mean, if it was going for the girls, it was them. The light skinned girls didn't call me that, out my name and it like that. If anything, I got complimented for my brown skin.
I
Um,
I see that in light skinned men. Like the only thing they'll think is you soft because you yellow, and that's about it. I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think I have an advantage for being a light skinned man. I'm sorry, I'm red. Burning cinnamon as I call myself.
yeah. You do look like paprika, but But no, my best friend is he's actually like the equivalent of her. He's light skinned, he has green eyes and whatnot. But the nigga crazy. I ain't gonna fuck with him. So I don't even have that misconception. We had those jokes, of course, but also if it came down to me and him wanting fisticuffs, I hope I got a knife. But I think it's I don't like the whole like the black girl magic thing. The black girl magic, honestly, if you think about it, only is being a reference to brown skinned girls, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, we had that discussion before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
we
know,
did.
and just like they celebrate dark skinned women, but I tell people you don't see that in light skinned people, but nobody ever
no,
talks about that.
you don't. And I again, like, yeah, that's my old lady and all, but I started to honestly see it from her perspective because we obviously ain't looking at it or looking for it as brown skin. We happy to hear it and all that, but we don't, as brown skinned folks, don't look at it on that end. And granted, I know I got my plight with being chocolate and everything. She has concern when I go out and everything being in South Carolina because obviously she can hide in plain sight and I can't because white people don't even identify her as black all the way. And
I
then
think that's a discussion we need to have as a larger group about this colorism thing. And we don't
we
have
do,
it on bare
Yeah.
terms.
we
It's
do.
always dark skinned people have it worse because they're darker skin. But light skinned people aren't even acknowledged to be black. Well, you can get away with it. I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? That nigga still look black. What you talking about?
I definitely hear that. I think we definitely need to kind of maybe narrow down on that, have the group come back to it another time. But I wanted to actually move in on that note to this whole thing in music where we lost two young kids this time. We lost
Jesus, yeah.
Brax, who was a Richmond rapper. She was queer, basically young MIA territory. And then we had King Von, who died from the Chirac drill scene. And
Yeah.
it just seems like people are just like crying their eyes out about the whole King Von thing. It's like, oh, hold up, y'all. Y'all remember this nigga laughed at other people dying. And on top of that, this nigga had a murder charge for some dumb fucking shit that he did that he shouldn't have fucking did. And
I
probably
mean,
you don't understand what he did, but I'll give you the short 30-second version. He's going to go see a hoe, brings her some coke. Basically, he hears someone beating on his door, and it's the girl trying to get in the car because her pimp is beating her ass. He doesn't stop the pimp from beating her ass. He watches. It's only when the pimp looks at him is like, fuck you looking at, and breaks his window with a brick that he steps outside and shoots this nigga directly in the face, killing him. Now, what's even more ironic is the fact that these niggas only live 2 blocks apart. So they probably seen each other
Wow.
going down to the bodega. He was from 63rd. The nigga that he killed was from 65th.
Hold
So
on, you talking about the King Von situation?
Yeah.
yeah, King
Yeah.
Von. Before all this, he murdered a
That's I'm
nigga.
finna say. Oh, I'm finna say that. That's
no,
not
he's
what I
talking about
see.
his murder charge.
No.
Oh,
He
okay,
had a murder
okay,
charge on that. On top of that,
got you.
he fucking laughed when he was beefing with what was it?
Duck,
F,
FDG
F,
Duck.
FBG Duck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when he laughed when that nigga got smoked, and then he turned around later on and was like, "Oh no, man, I was actually trying to bring the peace," only because it started getting bad radio play. So when people are getting all these tears and shit, I ain't crying for no motherfucking murderer.
I'm well.
I'm not crying for a nigga who literally,
Bro,
if you look at the video,
he
I
died
didn't
in
even
the
know
end.
who he was. I had to ask my 14-year-old. I was
no,
And
like,
you're
he
right. He
still
did
wasn't
die.
popping like that.
I
He
only
wasn't
know
Oh,
popping
who
like
he,
that.
I only know who he
yeah.
is because of
He
DJ and
wasn't
shit.
popping.
But Dirk, he was a Dirk disciple in the sense of it all. Like if you think about it, he fell underneath that umbrella. But
Mm-hmm.
it's only in that scene, that drill scene and that super trappy scene that ain't mainstream culture. They the only ones that know about it. They the only ones that pay attention to it. I got 18 and 20-year-old little brothers, and like one of them literally said, "Well, it ain't like he ain't have it coming."
Exactly. It's not like
Or,
this nigga didn't
like
have it
they
coming.
literally said that.
These
Yeah,
people are
so
like, oh man, prayers up for Vaughn. Vaughn ain't going to heaven, nigga. This nigga
that
going.
was yeah.
This nigga
He is
definitely going to
definitely
hell. And on
this
top of
nigga's
that,
a
his entire death was preventable. Stop
yeah.
arguing with niggas after 10
Well,
p.m.
wasn't he
After 10
beefing?
p.m.
Wasn't he beefing with another young nigga? And
He
then
was beefing
Drew
with
said,
them, but that had nothing to do with this. This was
"No,
very
I ain't talking
simple for
about
what
that.
happened
I'm
to him.
talking about what he said though. Like one time he's beefing with somebody. He said, "Tell God to say hi to you." Like he was
Oh
a
yeah,
very
that was a good line though. That was a good
yeah.
line.
Like he was one of those people. Like he didn't have a empathy card. It seemed like he's a product of his environment. I ain't gonna lie. Like I told y'all this the first time we all talked about that part of Chicago and that mindset. We didn't really start seeing that until I'm gonna blame it on the New Orleans niggas. I'm sorry. Once Hurricane
We
Katrina
blame
hit,
it on him too.
when Hurricane Katrina hit, but y'all were affected. Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, and it's one other, maybe Tennessee. felt when Hurricane Katrina hit because them niggas scattered to all our cities.
And they came here, they goddamn cousins, they all living. They was all of a sudden we got like 18 goddamn kids getting registered at one time. Like, how the fuck we get
Yeah,
18 niggas this classroom's only built for 15? Like, what the fuck?
gang culture completely changed when
Changed. Yep.
New
Overnight.
Orleans were scattered. And because remember, they were the murder capital. Remember that. Like,
Yeah.
they were known,
Yep.
like, it was like, we were scared of New Orleans. Like, oh, you a New Orleans nigga. I don't know. But when they scattered out to
We
everywhere
remember
else,
when them Katrina niggas came. We hated them niggas.
Yeah, we hated every single thing about them.
yeah,
Every
I
fucking
agree.
part of it.
And with these are
Those
their
niggas.
fucking offspring. These are their offspring, though. This is what
That's
happened
true.
in all of our hoods. And Chicago was one of the places that felt it the most because when they start growing up, that's when y'all start talking about Chirac.
I mean, yeah, like Chicago was bad before. Don't get us wrong, but
It
it
was, but
exploded.
Yeah, it
we didn't
was.
hide this. We didn't hide this. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, we knew who not to fuck with. We knew where not to go. We knew who was who. When they
Oh,
grew
so
up,
y'all had an established hierarchy,
it
and
was
then
a
the
it
niggas
was an
came through and
honor
fucked
amongst
it all
these.
up.
Yeah, it was an honor amongst these before this generation grew up and had. And what's fucked up is when I say grew up, I'm talking like 10 to 12. Like, they weren't necessarily full fledged teenagers. I
I
lost
mean, that's true.
when I was in Iraq the first time. I lost. This is how bad they got to the culture. One of my closest cousins was killed by his homie because he paid somebody he knew to get him $300 to get him to come outside, and he rode around the street and shot this nigga. Like, and that was of that culture. Like, that was when that culture kicked in, and that's when I kind of knew shit changed because it wasn't like that in that hood where I grew up in. That wasn't what was going on. You knew who was gonna get shot. Like, low key, you kind of knew, and it was expected because that motherfucker wasn't seen anymore. And when he was seen, niggas were after him. After a while, it was either targeted, and then all of a sudden it grew into random killings. Now everybody that's getting killed is random outside of these celebrities, and these niggas are out here flexing, and they get their little shine, they get their little money, and they talking a little bit heavier with their balls a little deeper. But it ain't that, obviously, because when FDG Duck was on live, they found out where he was at. You're dead. This nigga
Like,
talking
oh, you
wild.
on live? Oh, we
Yeah,
got something for
Hell,
your ass.
like
even that nigga's most famous song was about killing somebody. Wasn't it? If you ever said I did it, then you motherfucker. That song was hard though.
Isn't that how they got is isn't isn't that how they got Pop Smoke? They saw him post something online and then pulled up on him.
yeah, he accidentally showed his address. Yeah, he showed
Yeah,
that.
Pop
he
But
Smoke was
showed he
hey,
showed
different.
his
look,
dress.
I ain't gonna
Pop
lie,
Smoke was
California
different.
niggas are different too. California niggas are way different. Them motherfuckers are still carjacking. Like, they on something
You're
else.
like, dog, you can't get somebody at the quick trip. Like, you gotta actually just walk up
Yeah.
to the nigga like, hey, I need this right now.
Well, and then this is the thing: the niggas that I'll just use Chicago again. The niggas that no, fuck that. I could take it to all of them. The niggas that are actually saying that type of shit in their music, but are surviving, left.
Yeah.
You don't even know where they are. They left home. Like,
Didn't Vaughn
remember
get
Lil
killed
Snoop?
here? Did he get killed
Who?
in Atlanta? Did he get
Who?
killed in Atlanta? Vaughn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
got
did.
killed in
And
Atlanta.
he got killed outside
But
that hookah spot.
he let it be known where he was at all times. Know
Well,
where he
no,
was
I
at.
get that part, but he just started some dumb shit, and he forgot that Atlanta niggas gonna shoot. Because remember, King Von went with that hook to hit that first guy, and his partner's like, "Oh hell nah, fuck, we ain't
They just
fighting for
Yeah, the
shit."
other dude came and he ran from behind the car and shot him while he was still tussling with it.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's
what's
Atlanta right there.
what's
And by
funny
Atlanta, I
is
mean them LA niggas,
what's funny
New
is listen
Orleans.
to let's say, like, I say Young Thug. I personally look at Young Thug in a certain way from the flamboyant nature, everything he does, but the way he talks in a boss manner. But he don't never identify where he at.
he
I mean,
don't
that's
do
smart.
that. Nah, that's a different level. Young Thug ain't like that.
Well, but
No, he's
Young
not
Thug ain't
King.
like that
He's
now.
not King Von level, but I'm saying he ain't identifying where he's at while he's talking that shit and popping off, and he's only popping off to other celebrities.
It's
True.
levels to this shit. Like
Yeah,
Gucci, if Gucci says some shit like that, then I Jeezy, them niggas.
yeah,
But him, he like a
Gucci
level
different.
down. Well, not new
Yeah,
Gucci, clone Gucci,
I'm talking about Fat Gucci,
clone Gucci.
pregnant
Yeah, I'm talking
Gucci.
about fat Gucci.
You leave new and improved Gucci alone.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, he goes right now, man, and people still scared of what he did as a Fat Gucci. Like, I would love to be where Gucci is right now, minus the wife that left her kids in the islands.
Man,
I
he got a
mean,
body.
look, dog. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, dog.
Hey, he got a body. Most of these niggas ain't got bodies.
That's
I
also
agree. I
true.
agree.
I
I
think
agree with you.
Snoop is the only one I can think of, right? He got a body, right? or did he just
His was
stab
I
him?
mean,
self-defense, wasn't
Snoop,
it?
the baby. I mean, a whole bunch of these
I don't
niggas
care what
got
nobody
bodies.
say. DMX got a body. He was a crackhead. He done killed before. We just don't never know.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I feel
DMX
you
has
on that
done
too. Yeah, I feel
several
like he don't
strange
die.
things
He don't kill
for
somebody.
change. He
You
done
talking about
kill
relevant
somebody. He
people?
done rob somebody. He done do some other things. And you're
Right.
petty as hell for that, R. Reed. But you're right. You're accurate, but you're right. But you're petty as hell for it.
Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, that is the end of the episode. We're gonna be right back at it a little bit later on this week. Give a little bit of breathing room. Got to make sure that bitch can breathe.
Be
But
continued.
definitely to be continued. Hit us up at EVYD Black Men on Twitter, Everyday Black Men, and of course, Everyday Black Men Facebook page. Website coming soon for the 1,000th time. Nigga, it's coming. It's coming
We
one
got
of these
mugs.
days. Craig stole the website.